welcome to the Stephanie Herman Show. Do you like horses? Well, why don't we go to Springdown Equestrian Center to see horses and horseback riding and how to horseback ride from the wonderful master. And then seeing the beautiful artwork from the IWOK Gallery in St. Helena, California. And what about the beautiful, gorgeous sound of Tammie Brown? Come join me and let's fill the air with Tammie Brown's beautiful voice.
Your eyes, a look, your smile can't disguise the look of love. It's saying so much more than just words could ever say. What my heart has heard, well, it takes my breath away. I can hardly wait to hold you, feel my arms around you. How long I have waited, waited just to love you. Now that I have found you, you've got that look of love. On your face, a look that time can't erase. Be mine tonight, and let this be the start of so many nights like this. Let's take a lover's vow and then seal it with a kiss. I can hardly wait to hold you, feel my arms around you. How long I have waited, waited just to hold you. Now that I have found you, don't ever go. Don't ever go. 'Cause I love you so.
Here we are at the Springdown Equestrian Center with Carol Goodstein, the owner. Carol, it's so great to have you here and to learn more about you. And I wanted to know, when did you come to own the Springdown Equestrian Center?
9/1/84.
9/1/84?
That's our anniversary, right?
Okay, so now it's 26 years,
right?
Right? And I want to go back further when you're a little child and find out your love of horses. When did it start? How old were you?
It was a love of animals, but the horses, I'd always loved dogs, and the horses started when I was 7. My folks sent my sister and myself away to summer camp in Walnut Creek, and they had horses there, and that was it. I came home, drove my folks crazy for riding lessons, and I've never stopped. This is it. Excuse my rude horse here.
Who is this horse here?
This is Jake. This is Jake, one of my.
Shall we introduce him?
One of my special horses that
Who loves?
I acquired.
Okay, Jake. Hi. How are you? It's very nice to meet you too. Thank you for joining us on the Stephanie Herman Show. So I also have read about you take on a lot of people who have problems with their horses.
Right.
And then you retrain the horses so that they are more manageable.
I did, Jake. This doesn't show how well they're managed, but Jake, he says, I like the grass over here better. I don't do that much anymore with clients' horses. I do have some, but it's primarily our own horses. I like to rescue horses and bring them in and rehabilitate them and put them into our school program eventually. So that's kind of what we're doing now because there's such a need out there to find homes for so many horses. The first horse that I had ever had was given to me when the owner died. And it was a very nice experience, and I was living in Daly City at the time, and I kept my horse just down the road and at the barns that were just down the road from where I lived in Daly City. And we worked there with the horses that were on that property a little bit, and then when my horse got lame, I had to find a home for her, so I brought her down here to Webb Ranch, where she was turned out. And then I immediately acquired 2 more horses. And then I promptly got 3 more horses. So now I have 6.
And 2 children, and a husband, and a job.
Right, that's right.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
Right. So then my husband said, well, I'm going to retire. And I said, what? And he said, yeah, I think I'm going to sell my business and I'm going to retire from it because we were having some other difficulties with it. So then I had to either sell my horses or find a way to subsidize
Make money out
them.
of it, right.
So I turned professional in 1972. We didn't have a commercial permit to do that in Woodside, so then in '84, when this place came for sale, we decided that this was the place to be. So we wound up here.
Which is such a beautiful, intimate place, and the way you keep it up is so organized and clean, and you're a good disciplinarian.
Well, I try to, you're always learning in this business. You have to keep an open mind.
So now we're going to see how she actually manipulates Jake to turn around and be a TV star. He's never been on TV before. He's camera shy, or maybe not camera shy.
No, not camera shy. The thing about horses, they all have their own horsenality, like people have their own personality. And this particular personality of this horse is he likes to be a little bit of the leader, the boss. I mean, he's a great guy, but every once in a while you have to remind him that you are not. I am.
Right. And you have children that come here. What age do they start?
We actually have a mommy and me group that starts. We take the moms and the kids come at 2.5.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then for our normal riding programs, they're usually 5 on up, but we've taken them at 3.5. And it's a one-on-one with an instructor. It's a very safe environment. Of course, when you have as many horses as I do, you have one at every level. So there's always that nice, docile.
Right. And you have a pony.
Yeah.
Also.
No, not even. Ponies are not necessarily nice because most of them are kid broke. And they're not trained by trainers. They're trained by children. And children don't know yet. And then they get away with things. So some of them can be a little bit difficult.
So what are some of the things that you feel horses have given to you in
the
life?
list is so long. My biggest thing that they've given me is the ability to do a job that's my passion, that I love to get up for every day. And I never get tired of it. That's the biggest thing. But also, I think they teach you, if you can break through that initial resistance and get their respect and trust, they will give you anything. They are just such generous. I mean, they're big animals, and they outweigh us a lot. And the fact that they do all the things we do they're claustrophobic, but yet they go into a horse trailer.
Wow.
They do that because we ask them to do it. And that's trust. And when you get that trust, you get respect. And that's what I've learned that you want to have. And you are. He says, that's why I was moving around.
He was being very polite.
Yes, that's why I was moving.
Thank you so much for being on the Stephanie Herman Show. And you too, you were pretty good.
He was.
And I think you have a marvelous place here. I'm so happy to be a part of this intimacy and well organized. And we look forward to seeing you teaching and jumping.
Well, I'll be out there in a few minutes.
Thank you so much, Carol.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. Diamond is going forward a little bit, but I would like you to tap your stick on her shoulder and your boot. Shoulder, boot, in the rhythm you want her to go. Tap, 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 tap. Now when she does that little pop up, correct her with your rein. Give her a little pop back, okay? She's saying, I don't want to, and you're saying, yeah, think about it. I think you do want it, okay? Okay, Melinda, I'd like you to shorten your reins. That's better. Make skip bend around the corner. Leg heel into the corner. Now I'd like Mystic, shorten your outside curve rein. I don't want to see it uneven like it is. Good. Now use your leg as you come down on the post, okay? Tell him to move. And he's kind of looking over here, talk to him with your inside rein. See that ear move? Yeah. Okay, that's what you want. That's good, Maureen. That's good. After you do this one, after you do this 3-stride, you're going to come around the corner, and you're going to jump this one right here with a bending line back to that one. The yellow to the green. You have 3. 1, 2, and 3. Bend him left. Good, you got the change. Nice. Slow down, balance, slow down. You have 3. 1, 2, and 3. Good. Oh, you need a change. Got it, good girl. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Very nice. Good job, Allie. Good.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. Lord, we don't need another mountain. There are mountains and hillsides enough to climb. There are oceans and rivers enough to cross, enough to last till the end of time. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. Lord, we don't need another meadow. There are cornfields and wheat fields enough to grow. There are sunbeams and moonbeams enough to shine. Oh, listen, Lord, if you want to know, what the world needs now for some, oh, but just for everyone. Love, 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 love.
So we have had such a marvelous performance from Tammie Brown and Ron Wilson, so let's get to know them a little bit better. Tammie and Ron, oh my God, Tammie, I have to shake your hand.
Oh,
you were
thank
just
you.
gorgeous, my songbird.
Oh, thank you so
I
much,
loved it.
Stephanie.
And Ron,
Thank you.
so much. Your guitar is gorgeous, and I like the harmony between the two of you.
Thank you.
How did you two meet?
Where did you hear me, actually?
So this is many years ago. I called up someone to ask them to sing, and they recommended that I call Tammie. And I did, and she met me, and we went to a recording studio, and it was just magic.
So I hear you started the organ playing at the age of 4, right?
Yes.
And how big was the organ? And how big were you?
Well, I was
Or
about...
how small were you?
Yay high, and the organ was maybe that high, a lot bigger than I was. So I had to stand up and play it, and do the pedals with my one foot, and play the double tiers with my hands.
And your father was a guitarist?
He was a guitarist and a minister. My mother played piano, and she sang as well.
And there are 4 kids in the family, and everyone
Yes.
is magical like you.
Yeah, well, they're all musically inclined. I can say they're all musically inclined.
And Ron, how did you start playing the guitar?
Oh, I was probably 7 years old, and I don't remember how I started, but I knew that once I started playing, that's all I ever wanted to do. And my parents and my junior high and high school teachers gave me any instrument I needed to borrow, and I learned all sorts of instruments. So
Do
I
you
really
feel
owe
you're
them.
destined to be an artist at a certain, like you're born, and either you recognize you're an artist early on and your parents guide you, or you feel like you're guided by some magic to be an artist?
Well, in my case, I know that my mom sang in the house all the time, regardless of what was going on. Maybe she was feeling happy, she was feeling sad. I could always tell through the song that she was singing. And it came from her heart, and I just felt that. And so when I got into music more on a complex level of understanding of music, I would feel those emotions when I sang a particular song. And it would make me feel so good, whether it was a sad song or a happy song or whatever emotion it evoked. I knew this was something that I needed to do.
Well, I feel so lucky, and I feel that our audience is so lucky to have you with us tonight.
Thank you.
IWOK Gallery is an amazing gallery in St. Helena, California, and they always are changing what they have. And I picked the gallery for this segment because they were showing equestrian beautiful art. And this just ties in with horses, and if you love horses, come with me to St. Helena IWOK Gallery.
A lot of our artists always, and I think artists throughout time, have always represented the horse in their work. I mean, if you go back to the original cave paintings, that was one of the first creatures that were featured on the walls at the caves of Lascaux, were horses.
Really?
It's universal, as well as along the Silk Route and the Duong caves. So almost simultaneously, 2 different cultures were rendering the same things at the same time.
In 2 different places.
Horses, 2 totally different places. Wow. So horses throughout art history, let alone throughout history, have been man's best friend, so to speak.
Trojan horse.
Exactly. Or not.
Yes.
So one of the things that we have always had, no pun intended, within our stable of artists, a large group of them have always worked with the horse. Behind us, if you look at this gorgeous painting, which is an abstraction, it's done by Matt Rogers, who is a gallery artist that we always have works in by. Matt was commissioned to do polo ponies at one point from a friend, and rather than doing a pastoral scene, he interpreted it this way because of the power behind the player and the horse together and the sound of the hooves. He wanted all that energy and excitement captured in the painting.
It really does. This is beautiful.
They're magnificent. We also have other renderings of his that sometimes have jumpers, race horses. He was the patron artist or the artist for the patrons party for the Kentucky Derby. So he's got the race horses that are in your face, literally, like you're standing there about to be stampeded. We've got little Bruce Newell bronze horses, which all have a gorgeous different patina. So they're all very unique and one of a kind. So the gallery has always had horses represented in the art. So it is celebrated, like you said, and they're very inspiring creatures.
Have you ever gone horseback riding yourself?
Oh, yes. Growing up, I grew up in a part of the country in Pennsylvania where Rolling Rock beer is out of. And if you look, there's a steeplechase and a pony on that bottle. Well, that literally is from Rolling Rock, Pennsylvania. So I grew up with steeplechase. And that from the time I was very small. And then as a young person, we rode retired racehorses. And the only reason they were retired was because they were too slow for the track, not for us.
Right, there you go. And so what other horse paintings do you have here that you want to maybe share with our audiences?
Well, we always have, like I said, a representation. Anytime that you would come into IWOK Gallery or Masonry in Yountville, you will always find in our collection a selection of artists that have rendered horses. I have works by another artist, Kathy Mason Lerner, that have horses incorporated into a beautiful abstracted landscape.
Is that a painting?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right. I think, yes.
Adam Shaw, another one of our artists, did almost, like I mentioned earlier, like a cave painting of a horse. His artwork is very textured, so he incorporates that. Bruce Loritzen, who is in a number of collections throughout the country, but importantly here in the De Young and the Achenbach collection, has rendered horses.
So that's the De Young Museum.
Yes, the De Young Museum has quite a few horse paintings with us right now. So we always have.
Aren't we lucky that here in St. Helena, California, the Napa Beauty, you have such a gem here. I love the IWOK Gallery, and IWOK Gallery is also masonry and IWOK Gallery at Auberge du Soleil.
Correct.
And also
Solage. We have sculpture.
Yes, outdoor
Solage
beauty.
And Auberge.
Oh, this is so wonderful. Well, our audience will be so happy to view all this gorgeous art, and thank you so much for sharing all this.
Thank you so much for bringing us
Thank you,
to
Karen.
them. Okay, you're welcome.
Good job.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Okay.
So how did you like that toy candy of the artwork from IWOK Gallery in St. Helena? And thank you so much for joining us with the Stephanie Herman Show, and to close the show with the exquisite sound of Tammie Brown.
Grown colder, or am I a losing soul? The more I try, it just gets harder, and my pain is getting old. Somebody said that nothing lasts forever, just the strong survive, I'm told. But it seems that when it rains, it pours, and you know the rain won't last forever. You know the storm won't always blow. But if the sun don't shine forever, you've gotta let it go. You've gotta let it go. The bad things that happen in your life, let it go. The things that cause you strife,